What's going on, everybody? It's your pal, My Hero Goob. Let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever built a deck going in knowing that you're just going to take a beating? You're going to come out of there dragged through the mud, punched in the face, probably kicked in the butt, probably with some hair pulled out. You might be missing a couple teeth, but at the end of the day, you were rewarded with a victory with that fight. Well, this week's deck that went 0-3 was kind of like that. So this week we're featuring Connie, the Ideal Soldier. Now, I can just tell you right now, there's better air and chaos characters that you could play. But again, we're not here for the grandeur of the victory, right? We're not here to spoil in our fun. No, we're here to go 0-3 and have a blast with what we're doing. That is our ultimate goal, right? So, for those of you that don't know, real quick, Connie is a 6-hand, 31 health character with air and chaos, who says response, spend a momentum, clear one card from your card pool, and then response, after you have taken damage from an attack, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So, yes, there are some interesting builds that you could do for Connie, but again, like, you'll see as we go along, you're going to discover, like, well, if you're going to play that, you might as well play this character or this character, right? But again, it was fun. Like, I will iterate that again. It was very fun. He was very fun to play. Without further ado, though, let's go through the list. So, starting with our attack lineup, we have to, right? As a funny one of, we're already snapping enough momentum as it is, because we're pretty much, we're face tanking everything, and then we're hoping to clap back at the end, right? So, why not have literally the best 6 diff on its symbol to say blitz, snap momentum, and then none of your speed hate or damage hate can reduce it below the printed 6/6, right? There's other characters, like I said, that can utilize this. Like Godzilla automatically makes it a 6 mid for 9, right? But again, we're looking for momentum with him, right? So if we can use that momentum and then on the next attack clear it and just continue to go, this has given us essentially that free momentum that we don't need to spend, right? Having said that, we're running 3 Whirling Slash in it. There's quite a few air attacks in here that say if you've checked well and you want to commit 3, make your next air attack -3 difficulty, give your next attack +3 speed along with this one, and then draw a card. I would say pretty solid to have, right? Especially like if you're looking at a sculpt or if you're just absolutely looking to go in for the kill. Now, again, because we're momentum stacking, right? We want to find ways to cheat. So we need cards that say you can play the game easier. You don't have to go, absolutely like full chaotic and have to pay the price for it, right? So that's why we have Swarm by Titans in here as a 5 for 5 that says blitz. Your next check gets your momentum +1. So I multiple times on multiple turns would have 4 momentum. I would go to lead off with this and say my next check will get +5. So it almost says like, if you've got someone that's going to block their first attack and try to breaker you, you pretty much tell them to stick it and hold on to it, right? And then what makes it even funnier is like I played back to back to back. I had 3 of them in my card pool. I didn't have to commit anything to play them, right? It only got scary after my third attack, which leads into if you're going to run an air deck. If you're going to run an air deck, why not Falling Skies? Right? Get +1/+1 for each card in or each high attack in your card pool. Oh, by the way, first enhance, you can make it a throw, right? So you cleared all these very easily. Now this is on a 7. If you've got a full board and you haven't had to commit diddly squat, like Falling Skies now suddenly becomes absolutely psychotic, right? But then Oh, by the way, I have a momentum. I'll spend a momentum to clear this. You know, you'll play the next one. Now it suddenly still gets 4-4. Like, you're never going to have to deal with the you're never going to have to deal with the I'm only gonna be able to give it so much. Like, only giving it 1-1 kind of sucks. No. You can just windmill slam this thing and then just make your opponent absolutely regret, right? But that's not the fun spicy tech. That's not the fun spicy tech. What the fun spicy tech that you get is some essentials, right? You have Moth Monster. You don't care about the Giant Enhance, but you care about the discard 1, draw 2, right? You're sculpting. You need to find more attacks. You need to find a faster way to build. You need to find a particular action, right? Doesn't have anything that you care about with momentum. This is the attack that you want to lead off with, and you don't care if it's blocked, right? You also have Luna Arc. It's a great poke that says, if you are going to block this, I have a momentum that says you have to show me a low block. So for those that don't know, this is a 4 difficulty, 3 check, 3 high for 5 that says, enhance if your opponent hasn't taken any damage, attack gets +2 speed. And then spend a momentum as an enhance. Your opponent has to show you a low block before they go to block this attack. So, as you can tell by the trend, right, there's not a lot of low blocks or low attacks in this deck. As a matter of fact, the only attack, right, that isn't a high is Determine Advance. But by the time you play Determine Advance and you're getting to, like, down here with, like, this and, like, Falling Skies, Determine Advance is gone and off your, cleared from your card pool, right? We've gotten rid of it. Now, remembering that we're on Chaos Attuned, you're face tanking everything. So if you have an opponent that windmill slams you 3 or 4 attacks, right? You now have 4 momentum. And let's say they can't get there, right? Like, they're just going to be short 1, 2, 3 hit points, right? Then you make them pay for it. Because what's the spicy tech in this deck? Of course, it's Falling Debris. It's a 5 difficulty, 4 high for 6, +2 high block that says Blitz. This attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage for each momentum that you have in your momentum. It's also a breaker 1, so if you need to block with it, it's now a good breaker attack, right? But if you're holding 3 of these and you've got 4 or 5 momentum, which, like I said, I had multiple times tonight, yeah, you're sitting really pretty going, this is a base now 9 for 11. Hey, it's a 9 for 11. Hey, it's a 9 for 11. Hey, it's a 9 for 11. You know, you can literally just, like I said, because you're face tanking so much, when, like, that, this is the fuel to the deck. This is what you're charging up. This is what you're ramping up, right? Because, like, you don't care if your opponent has momentum, but, like, yeah, if you can bait out the high attacks, right? Or, like, if you just want to go for the absolute kill, this is the funny tech that's in the deck, and I really enjoyed this particular card with what it was doing. Action-wise, we're only really running 3 copies of Seizing the Advantage. It's an error piece. We're going to be saying goodbye to it in a couple weeks anyways, so might as well get as much use of it out as I could. You know, great defensive piece to be like, oh, look at this really cool thing that you have. Like, you know, if you want to cancel my abilities, or if you want to draw cards, things like that, yeah, you can flip that over. Don't worry about it. Now on to our foundation lineup. So this is one that I think I struggled with in the deck most, only because I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a lot of 2 diffs in this deck. A lot of 2 diffs. Now that could be affected or attuned to, like, my crappy shuffling, right? I did see a lot of 2 diffs, but I think they're quintessential pieces that he needs, right? First of all, Basho's Concealment. cancel an enhance ability as a response. You know, hey, I'm gonna discard to draw, or I'm gonna flip this over to draw. No, thank you. No, you may not. No, absolutely not. We're also running get in, get out. If we don't feel like on our opening attack, right, playing on a higher difficulty, and we feel like we can keep going, we'll just sack this to clear it, right? Then we don't have to spend a momentum. That way our falling debris and hell, even our determined advance, because that has EX, right? You don't have to spend that momentum. Yeah, you're down one foundation, but I think he's okay with being down less foundations than he is less momentum. Then you have Dragon Fortitude, which just says enhanced tenacious, spend a momentum for -3 damage. It's essentially reverse powerful, right? This was basically like my last resort. If I've used my other foundations that are here in the deck that you'll see, this was usually one that I saved for last. To be like, I gotta face tank this one, but I don't want to take that much damage, and I do want the free momentum at this point. Not bad card. You know, it's got a two mid blocks. I mean, it's not terrible, right? More damage reduction is the Warm and Bubbly. Oh, look, I've taken damage. I'll flip for -2 damage, right? You're not wanting to hit the other tools that are in here, yet you're willing to face tank it and to, again, snap the momentum, right? Then you have Pushing the Advantage, which is one of the cards that's always online in Connie, because he will continuously have the momentum, right? Because it says when you clear a card from your card pool, like he does with the momentum, right? Or with get in, get out, you flip to draw a card. So you're almost doing like a pseudo pony in a weird way, but you're having to do it with extra steps just because like Pony can draw on her face, he can't. So he needs a little help. So his way to help with that is when you clear a card, just draw a card. We're running the essential nice try. You know, enhance -2 speed to the attack, and then respond at your opponent's end step, re-ready them. This was always the first button I pushed, just because I knew, you know, God forbid they were committed offensively. Now I brought them back to life. But then just tank people's speed and just go with the easy block, right? Then I had 2 copies of Horrifying Realization. Again, if you're on Chaos or on Air, this is an attuned Chaos that's really, really good, that says form. You and your opponent will each draw and discard a card. If your opponent discards a foundation this way, they have to commit a foundation, right? So it's another good way to redraw and sculpt your hand if you're looking for the kill shot, right? This one I didn't necessarily play for the foundation. I more played it for the block, which I know is not ideal when it comes to deck building, but I like the idea of like a little disruption with convenient timing. Again, because he's always stacking momentum, this is always online, because this is response after you block with this card, spin a momentum, your rival's checks for the rest of their turn get -1. So if you play against an aggro deck, or if you play against somebody that wants to, if they're doing the same shenanigans that you are, right, we're going to make it a little harder for you. I want it to be a little bit of a disruptor, right? So where if you do check bad, you check really bad. We also have 2 copies of Hungry for Fame, which is enhance, flip, commit, add a card from your momentum to your hand. So if you're short that one attack but know you can get there, you can flip and then pick up a momentum, which thank God for the rule changes, because there were times where, like in old universes, you would have momentum stacked underneath like this. Like let's say you have momentum that was like this, right? If you didn't remember what you had underneath, you were just, it was just tough luck. But now with you being able to look and peek, this card makes it feel a lot better. Like, I don't remember what oh yeah, that's what I put in here. I'll pick this attack up, or I'll pick up this foundation. Another key defensive piece is Moth Monster, because not only is it a 6 check, it's an enhanced commit. This attack gets -2 speed. If you've taken damage, this attack gets -3 instead. With him face tanking a lot, this is always online for -3. Always online for -3 because you're just face tanking it, taking everything in the face, so you're gonna make things a lot slower. With this and Nice Try paired up very, very well for me tonight. You also have 2 copies of Mikasa Defeats the Female Titan, which just flip. After you've blocked an attack, it deals no damage. So it's really good anti-throw. It's really good, like, oh my god, this is a really slow attack, but I can only half block it, or look at that, that's on the field, now I don't have to worry about taking any damage. We were running 4 copies of This Is My Chance. Again, we're trying to save his momentum in the best way that we can, right? But I found myself with this card, more people were just taking it as far as, like, their damage, just because it does say Enhanced Flip. This attack gets +2 speed. If it's the only attack in your card pool and it's fully blocked, clear it from your card pool, right? I ended up finding myself, like, not necessarily finding it with the right attacks. I ended up finding it, you know, more when I had, like, Luna Arc, or when I had Moth Monster, but, like, I was never to give the extra speed to things like Falling Debris, or to the Determined Advance, or I never really even found it against with Falling Skies, right? I don't think, I think it's essential only for the fact of if they are willing to block a very fast move of yours, and you can benefit from not having to spend a momentum, I think this is a really good card. But I just found more of it as this, like, oh man, I just kind of wasted that for no legit reason. Another foundation that's always online, Fearsome Transformation, that simply says Enhanced Flip, draw a card. If you don't have a momentum, discard 1 card. But I always have momentum, so I'm always getting that free draw. Pretty much always online. Also, that's always online, Decoy Duplicate, which just says Enhance, remove, discard a momentum, remove your opponent's attack from their card pool, they may draw a card. So we're nerfing speed on one attack, we're nerfing damage on another attack, and then by the time they've gotten to, like, their 3rd or 4th attack, we're just saying see you later. I can't tell you how many times those cards saved me, because I would go to use it, right, and then my opponent would turn around and try and play another attack, and they would just check horribly. So coming for the clapback was a lot easier, in a sense. I think I should have played at least 3 of these, to be honest, in this deck. I should have played 3 of them. Because I had a couple games where, like, I couldn't find any of them. I either checked them, or I just never completely saw them, right? So I think if you're going to run this, I would honestly do a 3rd copy, and maybe get rid of one of the random one-ofs that are in the deck, but definitely run a 3rd copy. Air Force style, I think this could have been replaced by so much better. I didn't realize there's really not a lot out there that says, I'm going to go ahead and re-ready this, because what he does is, his response is to flip, and then whatever they readied, you shuffle back into the deck. Or you can respond after a keyword ability to draw a card, right? I found this card more to be blank than anything. It didn't do what I wanted it to, because what I really wanted to do was do the shuffling shenanigans, right? But I didn't play a lot of decks that had, like, EX, Powerful, or Echo, anything like that. I think it's beneficial for, like, Fresh cut grass, you know, has that enhance of, like, you ready if your opponent readies a foundation, you ready yours, and oh, by the way, that ready foundation you did, go ahead and shuffle that back into your deck. I think it's more useful for him or for Deku, but I wouldn't really recommend it for any other deck outside of those. And then the main staple, I mean, everybody's got to have latent skill if you're playing on, you know, air, death, fire. It's an easy, you know, flip the discard, draw 2. It's an easy, like, I need to resculpt, and, like, you know, either I need to look for more of the build, or I need to look for more of my attacks, you know. It's a staple on these symbols. But yeah, that is kind of Connie the ideal soldier. Like I said, he was a lot of fun, but you know, by goodness, like, you know, if you want to play air decks, play Pony. You know, if you want to play Chaos, go play Godzilla. Go play literally anything else, right? If you just want to have some fun, janky, fucking, you know, off the wall, crazy momentum shenanigans, he's fun for a week. I just don't see like what the idea was behind him, and like what I know I could have been playing like Walk the Dog, right? But then like if I'm playing Walk the Dog, I would rather build that around like the stun ability and kind of do that. But there's better control characters out there that could be playing things like Walk the Dog or that have stun abilities, things like that. But I definitely recommend you give it a shot. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you would change up in the deck and how you would put your flavor to it. I'd be very curious to see, like, you know, what am I missing from Connie that, like, oh, you should have played this, or you could have done this instead. But leave a comment down below, let me know. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe as well. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.